Yewande is the Executive Secretary of NIPC, the Nigeria Investment Promotion Council, the Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on Public Affairs, Mr. Ajuri Ngelale.
We talk to captains of industry.
She's the founder and CEO of Tomato Jos, one of Nigeria's biggest agro-industrial businesses. Her name is Mira Meta. He's been selected for Forbes 30 Under 30. His name is Inyoluwa Aboyeji.
We talk to the experts.
He's the chief economist at Business Day. He's a big friend of the show.
He's the head of the Department of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology at the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, NIMR. Dr. Bamidele Waloko.
And we talk to you.
I found Mr. Usman through Hard Facts. He's a listener. He sent us a WhatsApp message when we were talking about the scanners at the ports.
Give me your afternoon and I'll give you the answers.
Shaku Maku, everyone. It's a brilliant, wonderful afternoon. Well, it's raining in the city of Lagos and all across the country. I hear it's even raining in the Federal Capital Territory. So we got a unanimous weather condition here. So wherever you are, be safe and make sure that you have yourself fastened to your seatbelts. If you're walking, make sure you got an umbrella or raincoat because you're on to Hard Facts. I'm Aghogho Oboh on 99.3 Nigeria Info. From now to 3 till 4 p.m., we have a special on the road to 2023. So, we'd have done global review today, but because of this interview, we have now with us to discuss and speak with us on the plans. Interestingly, we are on the eve of the All Progressives Congress primaries. So we have an aspirant who is vying for his party's ticket in our Road to 2023 series. Nicholas Felix, great to have you join us on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Thank you for having me. Good to be here.
Excellent. And I'm sure immediately I mentioned Nicholas Felix, the name must have rang a bell with a number of people. Not only is he with the ruling party, he was the second runner-up in the 2019 general election, to the shock of a lot of people. I remember sitting down here with Rotimi Sankori and wondering, where did this candidate emerge from? He's also the youngest on the list of those who have been screened by the All Progressives Congress, which is also an interesting story, which he'll let us into, because a lot of young people listen to 99.3 Nigeria Info, and many of them have thought it was mission impossible to make inroads with the ruling party. How much more be an aspirant with the party? So welcome again, Road 2023 on 99.3 Nigeria Info, Nicholas Felix.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here. Good to be with you.
Excellent. And you've got a rich profile based in the United States, in religious circles, well known also to in the economic space, business owner, and quite a number of things going for you. But let's get into the meat of the matter, which is with your party's primaries, which happen on the 6th, 7th, and 8th of this month, rather. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So you've been screened already, I can imagine.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Went through the screening process already.
All right. Give us some insight into what happened in the screening process for you on your part.
The screening process was quite okay. There was no issue whatsoever. It was a 7-man panel, and basically went through the documents, verify, ask questions, and especially the party manifesto, ask questions about your manifesto, what you do if you are elected, nominated as candidate, and elected as president. So basically, that's what the screening was all about. It was quite fair and easy, and for me, it was also quite an exciting moment, meeting some of the people there.
I can imagine an exciting moment, and to imagine that you were the second runner-up in the previous election, it makes an interesting case for you also too. So, why do you think, interestingly, your party has sort of moved back and forth over a number of issues, from the choice of its chairman now to its primary? It's, according to a number of people, mad in controversy over a number of things happening. I don't know if you're fascinated by all that's happening, or you think it's normal with the politics, Nicholas Felix.
Yeah, this is politics, and if you understand politics around the world, you know this is normal when it comes to politics. Things happen even in civilized nations like Canada, America, London. When you're going through the process of electing the number one man in the nation, you expect to have some issues, and the ability to overcome them is what matters. If you look at the process of appointing or electing the chairman of the party, a lot of people thought the party was going to capsize. The ship will sink. There will be trouble on every side. At the end of the day, everything went smoothly. Yes, there may be one or two aggrieved persons, which I believe these are internal issues in every party, and they should be dealt with internally, not on national TV. So I believe the same thing is going to happen. At the end of our primary election, it's going to be smooth. It's going to be interesting, and I trust that at the end, we'll be able to work together as a party and be able to defeat our opponents.
All right. In case you just joined us on 99.3 Nigeria Info, we're on with Nicholas Felix, an aspirant with the ruling All Progressives Congress. We are at the cusp of the PDP's crucial primaries, which happens on the 6th, 7th, and 8th. You can send us questions, and I'm sure also you'd also have questions when we open the phone lines for Nicholas Felix at some point in time. But you can send us questions, your comments and thoughts on 0809 597 5805. That's on WhatsApp. 0809 597 5805. And on Twitter, it's at Nigeria Info FM. We're watching this also live on Facebook and YouTube, so we'll have questions and comments also too when that is happening. So it's a wide audience we have here, Nicholas Felix, and a lot of them also too, I'm sure. I don't know, maybe because of your religious background, you probably also have share that sense of optimism that things will be okay. But help us understand what is happening in terms of why the report of the screening panel isn't yet out. Some people are concerned that it should be out now, so those who will be taking part in the primary when it happens should be aware. Are you concerned?
Personally, I'm not concerned because my screening went well. There was no issue whatsoever. So if there may be one or two persons who are concerned, probably what they saw or experienced with their own screening. They should be concerned, but mine went well, so I'm really not concerned. I know we're going ahead with the primaries. The date has been set. The convention committee has been set up, and I'm sure they are working. My job right now is to be reaching out to my delegates, to be calling, making calls, meeting with the delegates, and doing my own part. The convention committee is their responsibility to make sure that the convention is up, things are going on well, and basically that's what we are doing. We are focused. They have their time. As you can see, things have been moving here and there, but this is part of the process. The ability for us to overcome it, just like what happened during the chairmanship election. I'm hopeful that same thing will happen. And I told somebody yesterday, it's not in my time that the party will crumble. So we have to be very optimistic. We have to be positive. In anything and in any way we can help facilitate peace to reign in the party. We're here to make sure that happens. We take no glory in seeing trouble.
All right. I'm going to get to your manifesto because you talked about it during your screen also, about things that if you become the party's candidate, the things that you think will make a difference in this country. But you talk about not in your time that the party will crumble. Do you consider comments by the president, for example, saying that I want to decide who my successor should be, so the governors in the party kindly fall in line with what my choice should be as a way of saving the party, and gives us some insight into what is going on, that your party seeks to have a consensus candidate. Felix Nicholas.
You see, I think a lot, and I x-ray statement. When you look at that statement and you look at the audience the president was speaking to, he was speaking to the governors, the APC governors, not even the entire governors in the 36 states. So he was addressing them, letting them know, I'm the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm the one who's going to be handing over to somebody, to the next person, not you. So it's my responsibility to do this. Just the same way these governors and even some of these aspirants in their own states, when they're about to elect the next governors, they have a say in it. Some of them bring their preferred candidate. They don't even hide it. They campaign for them. They sponsor. They do everything to support whoever they prefer. So in my own take, I think the president is just speaking to these governors and say, I also have a choice in this matter here. If you as governors have your own choice, who you prefer, I'm not robbed of that right. I also have that choice. The statement hasn't been made to us as aspirant. As of today, we are still very much firing on. No message, no text, no call, no email, nothing whatsoever has been told to us that this is going to be consensus. So if he said that to the governors, I see no reason why I should be having high blood pressure over what he said to the governors. In other words, back off. Let me do this. I'm the one handing over, not you. In your own state, I don't come and tell you this is my preferred candidate. You do what you want to do. You come out with whoever you want, and the whole world knows it. But for this, let me do this. That's the way I perceive that statement. Now, when we hear it as aspirant, when it's told to us, then our reaction is going to come. It has to be then we'll decide. For me as an individual, as an aspirant, I have to now decide what to do and how to proceed. But for now, that statement was made to the governors. I think they have to take it.
I'm glad that you're frank and honest and blunt about this conversation never happening with any of the aspirants before this interview today. But if it happens before the day of the primary, what will you do?
Yes, you mean in the issue of consensus, right?
Right. If the president says, I have my own man, maybe you.
Of course, I've always said it. It would be wrong for me now to be fighting consensus when I think I'm the person who is going to be the one the president prefer, because I'm the new person, new guy in the midst. I'm the one, I always say, with clean hands and clean slates. I bring a lot. All my ideas that none of these guys, 23 aspirants, ever say. You never hear people say the things that I'm bringing forth. And I think there are things that are going to work, because everyone is saying what has been done before that has not produced results. So I'm not against it. However, in order to be general, let's assume, hypothetically speaking, when we get there, oh, I'm not the consensus candidate. This is the consensus candidate. We have to understand, for me, why is this person preferred? And is it going to be that if I disagree, I'm disqualified? That's when it's going to be an issue. I don't think if a consensus candidate is chosen, the president says, this is who I prefer. All of a sudden, all of us can no longer go on the day of primary election. That's not going to be the case. Because if that's going to be the case, I don't think we would have gone through the screening. So the president have the right to say, this is my preferred candidate. All of these governors, and even most of the people who are aspirant, they've done the same thing. You know, it's amazing now, all of a sudden, everybody's bringing democracy. They have done the same thing in their states. These governors are preferred candidates. They say it, they sponsor it. The whole world knows it. Everybody knows it. Now the president said, I may have a preferred candidate. And everybody all of a sudden, because they know it's not going to be them, everybody is all jumping and getting angry. That statement was made to the governors. Governors, back out, let me do this. I'm the president. So I'm waiting for when he said to us, when this statement come to us, we're going to have to know why. I have a principle. If I'm not the president and I deem it fit to support another candidate for the purpose of victory, I must make sure the person is at least ready to work with us and be able to share ideas and also, adapt some of our own policies that will make things work for the nation.
You know something? It's all quoted in fine words. We hear things like horse trading, even though some of those horse tradings happen at clandestine meetings with the politicians. Apologies to you, even if you're a clergy, but people oftentimes think about the word delegate, which has been used very often in the last couple of weeks. And no thanks to some of the horrendous things we've seen online, money's being distributed to people. When you say meeting the delegates as an aspirant, Nicholas Felix, I know that no one has bought a form for 100 million naira, expression of interest or nomination form, to have a picnic. It means they're serious about wanting the party's ticket and wanting to lead this country. What have the meetings with you and the delegates been like? Have you promised them money? Have you promised them houses? Have you promised them anything?
First of all, I don't have a dime to give to any delegates. As you know, the nomination form and expression of interest was quite high. So I've told every one of them. I've met some one-on-one. I've spoken with some.
Right.
We are clear and straightforward. When my team reach out to some of them, and anybody bring the issue of money, it is not what we entertain. I don't have a dime to give to anyone, but I've always assured everyone, when you elect me as your candidate and I become the president, number one, you have access. Number two, you can hold me responsible because I'm offering myself to serve you. If I pay you, you cannot hold me accountable. So we have not paid anyone. We don't have any intention of paying anybody. Others may do, but I've made it very clear. We don't have a dime to give to you, and we are not giving. The little funds that we have, we're using it for our campaign, for logistics, reaching out, doing what we can. As for paying anybody, we don't have the money to pay, and we're not going to pay. That's the thing. When I keep saying I'm bringing something new, I'm sure I'm one of the only candidates who can say this, who can boldly say I'm not paying. Now it's now left to the people to choose, to decide. Do I go with this guy who is being sincere, or do I go with these other men who are bringing money? So it's left for them. We're bringing something new to the table. I want to believe that they're going to vote their conscience. We'll be speaking to their conscience. We'll be letting them know. Some of you that have been collecting money, how far has it been for you? We must vote the right person in. And I want to believe that they are listening to us. So to answer your question straightforward, we haven't given a dime, not 1 naira to anybody.
Right. And like they say in the States, they say this man must be a tough cookie. But let's go on to what you have on the manifesto you told the screening committee. In case you're just joining us on 99.3 Nigeria Info and Hat Fact, we have Nicholas Felix, an aspirant with the All Progressives Congress, and interestingly, the youngest at 40 years, I understand your age, sir. Yes,
sir.
40 years. So it makes him the youngest on that list, who is vying for his party's ticket. And interestingly also, too, he was the second runner-up in the 2019 general elections. So, you asked the question, I'm sure the question everyone want to ask you, Nicholas Felix, is what's the top on your list? Maybe not a silver bullet, but the thing that you say stands you out as the one who should be the standard bearer of your party.
Good. It's always, I'm always passionate about bringing my manifesto out. As we know, Nigeria needs the serious attention. Every area of this country needs attention, but there are some things we must fix to cause a domino effect. And if we don't address the needful, no matter what we do, we're not going to see the results. So what is the number one agenda on my list?
Right.
The number one agenda is security. My number two agenda is security. My number three agenda is security. That's to tell you how serious it is. Until we fix the security problem in Nigeria, we are not going to experience serious economic growth. Let me give you just a few examples. I try to be as practical as possible. Here in Abuja, I discovered in the Maitama area of Abuja, stores are open 24 hours a day. Even the barber shop, they are open 24 hours a day. That was interesting to me because this is exactly what I've been saying. Because this area of Abuja is very safe and secure, the stores are open. And I met one of the owner of the store. I asked a very simple question, which is what I have been trying to explain to people, why security is the thing we must fix to experience economic growth.
Right.
If you, as the owner of the store, decide to open just 9 to 5, how many employees will you have? I discovered the number of employees all of a sudden reduced to 50. If you have 10 people working 9 to 5, another 10 people working from 5 to 11, another 10 people working from 11 now to 5 again, which is 24 hours a day, you've just added 20 extra employees to your list. But majority of our cities don't have that. Once it's 7, 8 p.m., the entire nation goes to bed, our economy goes to bed. How do you expect to reduce unemployment when 80% of our people are sleeping? It's not going to work. Every nation with low unemployment is because they have a system where people work 24 hours a day. I have companies and majority of my staff work in the evening. I can tell you up to 60%. Another maybe 10, 20% work at night. If you take out those all those places shut up during the night, my employees are going to reduce drastically. That's why we're experiencing unemployment in Nigeria. If you like, pump millions into the economy, pump billions. If people don't work, they cannot earn money. So we must fix the security. People need to be able to go out by 12. You could, in my time, you could go out by 12 a.m. at night. The other day I was looking for something, 2 a.m. I was driving. It was so exciting. I could not stop speaking to my people. This is exactly what I've been saying. We need to be able to go out. And how are we going to do that if the nation is not safe? In some places, going out 10 p.m. is almost like a suicide mission. Traveling in the highway is almost like a suicide mission at night. We need to be able to fix security. That's number one. Now, let's come to the security. How do we do this? This is the problem we have right now. UN have recommendations for everything. For security, UN is saying for every 450 citizens you should have one police officer. If you have 900 citizens, you should have two. That's the ratio UN gives. Now, this ratio is for when you don't have security problem, when everything is okay. But Nigeria is already falling below that ratio. If you look at the math, over 206 million. Some people say 215. That's another issue. No statistics, accurate statistics, but we're going to fix that. We already have over 200 million people in Nigeria, right. And yet we have just 371,800, the last time I checked, police officers. 45% are assigned to reach politicians, to reach business people.
I'm sorry, Nicholas. I'm going to ask you to hold your thoughts just on this line on security. When we come back from this break, you're going to continue on your thoughts about how we can get the country more secure so that the business world and image you talk about globally can work. Please stay with us on 99.3 Nigeria Info on this very important interview. Don't go anywhere.
This is where Nigerians come first for the best of talk.
A category of females, adolescents, that should not be giving back are in fact being forced to give back, not even once, but multiple times.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Lagos Leather Fair is 5. The Lagos Leather Fair is celebrating its 5th anniversary with the biggest leather exhibition in Africa. This year's event is tagged LLF5. The Lagos Leather Fair will have masterclasses, creative workshops, atelier sessions, leather brand exhibitions, and a fashion runway showcase. The masterclass speakers will include Mai Atafo, Adesua Oyenekwe, Muyiwa Femi Pierce, Adenike Adeyemi. The Lagos Leather Fair will take place on the 11th and 12th of June 2022 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. LLF5 is sponsored by Bank of Industry, Afrexim Bank, Providus Bank, Leadway Assurance, Alethea Capital, and System Specs. Media partners are Cool FM, Wazobia FM, and Nigerian Info. For more information, visit our website at www.thelagosletterfair.com or call the number 0908-472-0800. That is 0908-472-0800. Lagos Leather Fair, impacting the Nigerian leather industry.
Yes, 1 million naira. Do you have what it takes to compete, debate, and banter around exciting football topics? Then this is your chance to battle it out and win a grand prize of 1 million naira. The excitement never stops with Femi and the gang as the Fat G Fan Battle returns for Season 3. To participate, record a 1-minute video reviewing your club season. Post that video on either Instagram or Twitter using the hashtag FatGFanBattle. The best video will be selected for the preliminary round. This is your moment of glory. Grab it. With Femi and the gang, it's live football, just the way you like it.
The Dawn Project is searching for creative and competitive minds, and we are saving planet Earth. This year's theme is Recycle, Renew, Rebirth. All you have to do is write a short story or poem, artwork illustrations, photography, innovative ideas, and more. 3 lucky winners stand a chance to win 200,000 naira, 4 lucky winners 100,000 naira, 5 lucky winners 50,000 naira, and other consolation prizes. Hurry and send in your creative works as entries close on the 5th of June. This is open from ages 7 and above. For more details, log on to www.dawnproject.org. That is DAWNproject.org. T's and C's apply. Recycle, renew, rebirth. Let's save Mother Earth.
Topisto tomato mix don show. Topisto tomato mix na tomato mix wey Mohan Agro Foods dey produce. Dem dey produce am for Calabar for Cross River State. E dey inside a very beautiful 70-gram sachet and na 50 sachet dey inside 1 carton. and take cook stew, jollof rice, sauce, egusi, spaghetti, eforiro, and water better correct wakis them. Waiting make Topisto tomato mix different, not the taste. And you fit find out for all leading supermarket and for any market where they near you. If you want make they supply you or you want be distributor, make you call 0810-438-8003 or 0803-728-4377. Topisto tomato mix. The difference, not the taste.
Many people are in business, but not everyone means business. The people who mean business never say no to money, cash, card, or transfer. These ones grab business opportunities with their full chest. Keep an eye on things that matter like people, cash flow, and how it all adds up. They do not only know their onions, they know their numbers. They mean business. With number, you mean business. Visit www.number.com, that is NOMBA, number.com to get started.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back, 99.3 Nigeria Info. And we have with us Nicholas Felix, who is an aspirant with the All Progressives Congress. Party's got his primaries fixed for the 6th, the 7th, and 8th of this month. That's next week. And we've talked about everything about the screening, the upcoming primary, the controversial consensus candidate, option rather, if it happens. And now we're on to what plans and why the delegates in his party should pick him over the other 22 candidates. It's been a political season which has been spiked by plenty of drama, and you can hear from some of the things he said that they have not had a meeting with the president to suggest that a consensus option is on the cards. But today's Friday, we still have Saturday and Sunday. And I'm waiting for Nicholas Felix to rejoin the interview. We had some technical issue, but we have messages. You can send us messages also to on WhatsApp 0809 597 5805. Again, 0809 597 5805. And then on Twitter, or rather on all our social media platforms, it's at Nigeria Info FM. At Nigeria Info FM. It's where we have all of the information. And at some point, I open the phone lines also too, so you can have the opportunity to have your say also too. And we hope we can reconnect with Nicholas Felix.
This is The Voice Note on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
From independence till date, what we've had are a bunch of people, good people in many respects, but stumbling into power with no text, with absolutely no idea what they're going to do with power. In part because successive presidents have always been brought from somewhere on parachutes to become presidents of Nigeria. The result of all this is that we have a severely, as I say, severely fractured nation that is neither going nor coming. And every time a government comes in, it proves to be worse than the one that came before. But I think what is most important and most significant is that we need, going forward, to think a little bit more clearly about where are we, how are we hurting, and why are we hurting? Because every segment of this country is hurting. People who are from the south think, well, we are suffering because the northerners have taken over everything. Northerners say, well, we are suffering because the southerners control almost all the economy. The minorities say we complain because the dominant ethnic groups are the ones that are persecuting us. Truth of the matter, we are in this together. We either hang together or we will hang separately.
Welcome back, 99.3 Nigeria Info. So we're having difficulty reconnecting with Nicholas Felix, but quite a lot has been said, and I think we will do this. We'll get your reactions to all you've heard so far. If he does join back, any questions or comments you have for him, we can then take them up from there on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The number to call 0700 993 993 993. Again, 0700 993 993 993. And then you can send us messages on WhatsApp 0809 597 5805. Again, 0809 597-5805. So while I wait for the calls to come in, all right, looks like we have Nicholas Felix in. So what we'll do, we'll continue from where we stopped. Great to have you back, Nicholas Felix.
Good to be here.
And sorry for the network, the logistic breaches we had connecting with you. But before you went on the break, you were on the roll about security and what you wanted to do based on United Nations estimates. So, how many policemen to the population?
Yes, I was explaining that the bottom line why we have security challenges because number one, the amount of police officers we have is just too small for the number of citizens. We have about 371,800 police officers. And 45% of that number has been assigned to rich people, assigned to politicians, which is not a problem because some people tend to have issues with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's another avenue for the police department to generate, income. So, but by the time you look at the number, you will discover there are only few police officers patrolling our city. There is no way we can be secure with that amount of police officers. So the first thing we must do, all across the nation, we are going to hire 1 million police officers for a start to add to the force. As soon as we do that, we're going to change the entire reform the police system. Their method of policing, their method of patrolling, everything is going to be reformed. We're going to make sure we have their facilities are well built. We're going to make sure we invest heavily in technology when it comes to the police department. We're going to change all their method of policing. Number two, we're going to make sure that every police officer is well paid. The last time I checked, the average police officer, a level 3 police officer, earned about 42,000 naira in a month. That's less than $100. You cannot expect people to go and be fighting for us, people to go and be protecting our lives, and you pay them such peanuts. Doctors who also save our life, they don't get paid such amount of money. And I'm going to make sure that every police officer in Nigeria, their life is insured. You say, why? Any police officer that dies in the line of duty, they have to receive a befitting burial. They have to be honored because they die serving our nation. So these are some of the things we are going to put in place. For example, part of the things I'm going to introduce, in the 80s and in the 90s, New York City was plagued with crime. There was crime all over the place. The new mayor of New York City, Mayor Giuliani, came and brought a policy that is called stop and freeze. How does it work? Police drive around the city, not mounting roadblocks on highway, not just standing in one place and collecting bribe. They drive around the city. They stop vehicles randomly, check vehicle particulars, check, if need be, search vehicles, find out what is going on. They do it respectfully. That's why I talk about reform, not the abuse we see by the SARS and the current method where police do not respect the citizen. No, we're going to train them to respectfully stop vehicles, search. I'm surprised when kidnappers, like I always say, kidnap people, transport them across our nation, across our city. They don't fly on the plane, they drive on the roads. How come nobody has ever intercepted them? How come nobody has ever randomly searched vehicles and discovered there are people on the trunks who are being transported to another city because they have been kidnapped? So we're going to train them to do all of this. We are going to combat insecurity in our nation heavily. We'll get them armored cars so that when robbery is taking place, they will be bold to approach them. We get them sophisticated weapons, get them bulletproof vests. We have to take insecurity very serious in our nation. This is one thing I'm going to do. By the time this begin to happen, by the time the news begin to spread that the nation is secured, by the time people can go out and 7 p.m. they are now rushing to go back home, the news will be spreading, the narrative will be changing. The next thing we are going to do, we start inviting. Now going to the economy, we start inviting investors. There are rich Nigerians in the diaspora who will love to come back home to invest. They've gone back, they've gone to make money. They would love to have investment in their father's land. We'll be inviting them. Sometimes as president, I may need to travel to some of these nations, set up a meeting to meet with Nigerians, as many that can come, so we can give them opportunities. We cannot experience growth if the labor force does not increase. China, for example, is over 1.4 billion people. China. The rate of unemployment is less than 4%. How can a nation that is almost, you can say, 10 times or 5 times bigger than our country, their unemployment rate is so low. Why? Everybody knows China manufactures everything you can think of. The only thing I think China not manufacture here is human being. Anything you can think of, it is manufactured in China. Let me submit to you that ordinary toothpick, we spend millions of dollars to import toothpick to Nigeria. Toothpick made of wood.
Right, Nicholas Felix.
Nothing is done in Nigeria. So we need to do this and be able to create investment in our dear country.
Right. I say you can roll through your entire manifesto if I don't interrupt you for the next 5 hours, because off the top of your head, you have all of this worked out and like quick walk, you're going through them. But I think it would be a travesty if I don't let the listeners have a word with you. Maybe we get 2 or 3 calls, and then you can respond to them also on WhatsApp before we're out of time, which is the beauty of this sort of interaction. So you can get people in there. So those of you already calling in, we can begin from you. I'm not going to run through those numbers again because we barely have time. Hello and good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. If I'm right. Yeah, this is Babaji.
Babaji, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, quickly. I just came in, but I listened to your guest. I've spoken very well, honestly. But if you ask me just to pick 1 or 2 things, don't you think only power, just power, electricity, if you can be able to get it right just for 4 years, every other thing will fall into place? Because other climes, if you travel out of this country, you will understand that the economy is being driven by power, electricity.
Right, Babaji, and great point you make, and I'm sure Nicholas Felix will respond to that when I turn it over to you. Turn down the volume of your device.
Good day.
Good to have you join us.
I welcome your guest to this platform.
Great.
I want to know, I want to ask the guest one question, and I need a yes or no answer. Please, are you among those contenders that want to continue with the legacy of Mr. President? Yes or no? And then a second question is, you've supported the choice of Mr. President choosing his successor, because you've just said it now. And then what is the essence of these delegates as enshrined in your constitution, party constitution, as well as INEC rules?
All right,
that
Aguma.
Delegates have to come together to appoint or elect someone who will be the flag bearer of the party. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Aguma. And I'll just take one. People want to find out how you will tackle corruption. So that's 3. And then this one says that, let me see this. Right. Someone's asking whether you signed the resignation form. Obeta Joseph from Shasha, did you sign the resignation form? I guess he meant the form which was part of what you submitted back to the party. So we're going to do this very quickly, and I know that you can handle this very quickly too, Felix Nicholas. And we've got just about 5 more minutes to go, but the floor is yours.
Okay, very, very quickly. The first call I talked about power, that if we fix power, power will resolve other issues. I beg to differ. Yes, like I started by saying, the problem we have in Nigeria, they are just too much. You look at our schools, they are bad. You look at our roads, they are bad. So everything is as important as you can think. But security is the main issue. The nation is not safe. So it's the number one that if we fix, others will begin to fall in place. Now, the issue of power is a little bit more complicated. There's more work that needs to be done when it has to do with power. There are several challenges. Our distribution process is a big challenge. We have to fix it. After fixing the distribution, now we have to talk about transmission. Now we have to talk about generation, because we need about 40,000 megawatts to be able to have steady electricity. And the last time I checked, we can only generate just about 12,000 plus. And we can only transmit just 4,000. So you can see that it's quite complicated, but I think we can tackle that. But my number one agenda, what we are going to be fighting with insecurity. Now, the second call I talked about the issue of processor. Like I explained, and I'll make it as easy as possible. Delegates are still coming. We have not been told that it's going to be just the president choosing and nobody is going to vote. That is not going to happen. Delegates are becoming. We have been reaching out to the delegates. What is going on? The president has a choice. I'm sure you have a choice. I'm sure the caller has a choice. I'm sure the governors have choices. Everyone have who they decide. So if we say the president should not say whoever he chooses, then we're going to be robbing him also. Let him say whoever he wishes. And those of us who want to continue and say, you know what, I'm not stepping down, then we'll continue. That's what this is all about. The last question that has to do with signing the form of withdrawal. No, I did not sign the form of withdrawal. We were not forced to sign. If the need be for me to step down for somebody, like I said, I'm speaking generally. I'm not saying I'm stepping down yet. Neither am I saying I'm not the one that will be chosen. But I'm just saying when that time comes, we'll cross the road. But I see no reason why signing before starting. So I did not sign. And it was not a big deal. The screening was not, I don't know how it has been perceived out there. It was not a difficult. They were not there to attack us. They were just there to make sure that our certificate documents and we are qualified for the job. And we presented our manifesto and everything is fine to go. Am I missing any question?
That was done in record time. There's a question on dealing with anti-corruption, and there's a question someone asked about how comfortable are you with going ahead with the policies of this current administration?
Okay, yes. He asked if I'm continuing the legacy. Every president that I believe in continuity, you continue from where somebody stopped. That's what Nigeria is all about. That's what democracy. When you talk about legacy, the president is the one that have his legacy. So if I'm elected as president, I'm going to continue from where he stopped. Whatever has been going on, we'll continue building from there. We're not going to destroy the gains that were made. Neither am I going to dwell on what was wrong, that was not done well, and be pointing accusing fingers like we see most administration do. They'll tell you, this thing is not working because of this past administration. We're not going to waste our time doing that. We're going to jump right there and begin to fix what needs to be fixed. There's always going to be room for improvement. Remember, we are still tagged or named as developing country. We have not developed yet. So I won't waste my time looking at the fault of past administration. I'm going to go ahead and start doing what needs to be done.
Excellent and very well, Nicholas Felix. Before I let you go, there's a question that's been nagging a lot of us. How you emerged as the second runner-up in the 2019 general election. And the question also, too, I saw here was if you don't pick up the party's ticket, will you be moving to another party to fulfill your ambition?
I came to, number one, by the grace of God. Number two, we did some work. You see, there are people who are very good with social media. They are smart with it. They know what to do. Some of us, yes, we are on social media, but everything is not on social media. I've met delegates right here, different hotels, different locations. I've spoken to delegates one-on-one on the phone. It's not everything we put on social media. So on the day of the primary election, if you see me scoring a high number of vote among the delegates, you'll be wondering how. Because I have sold my manifesto to some of these guys. I have sold it to them. Some of them are people I even knew even before this election. So we have sold our manifesto. We have spoken to them. We have bought into their conscience. We've explained to them, you cannot sell your children's future. So you're going to see some surprises on that day. I came there because we did the work and God favored us. And that's what happened. And the last question, moving into another party, I do not intend to move to another party. I'm here to stay and work with the party to ensure that we finish victory come the general election.
All right. Thank you very much, Nicholas Felix. Our presidential aspirant with the All Progressives Congress. Wish you all the best, and we hope we can touch bases with you again on issues of national importance.
Thank you so much for having me. Good to be here with you.
Excellent. And so there you go. We're going to be keeping our lenses trained and see what surprises Nicholas Felix talks about that will happen 6th, 7th, and 8th of June. Just stay tuned on your number one talk, news, and sports station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to open the square. Public Square will start. Please stay with us.
More conversation.